Our guest is Bisi Olatilo, a name that everyone must have heard so many years, times over, without number, and then you keep saying, where is that man? Of course, he's right here with me in the studio, and I'm so glad to have him because we planned to be together on this program before, and we have been different platform, and we're here tonight together. Guess what? As we speak, he's also receiving an award, Lifetime Achievement Award for a remarkable broadcaster who took the bull by the horn. And I thought, wait, Bisi, I have to be the first to interview you on this matter. And so here we are. Bisi, you're welcome to the program, and thank you. Such short notice, and you made it. Congratulations, by the way.
I must thank you very much.
Lifetime Achievement Award.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh boy, 40 years broadcasting. Can you just sort of go through it in 1 minute?
Let me first of all thank you very much for inviting me to be a guest. What I normally do, somebody's doing it to me, and a bigger person that I've looked up to. In fairness, I say that everywhere.
So you're not making my girlfriends look at me so old.
No, not that. Because you don't. What you even do that I like a lot, and a lot of people are saying about, good things about you, is that you're training people.
Thank you.
In the right way this thing should be done. You're a very good broadcaster yourself, but you want to also impact this same thing, to everybody. I mean, if people are saying that you're doing it and you're teaching them, what else? So I'm really proud to be here. And going back, the trajectory of my broadcasting career started going on 45 years now with the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State.
45 years?
45 years. Ooh. 74, 75 actually.
Yes, yes.
The likes of Joe Adegbite, who's still right. I mean, he's the boss of BCOS now, and Alex Kondo, blessed memories.
Oh, he was great.
Yes, that's how I started formally, first contact with the microphone. But to go back to how I developed the interest in broadcasting, Ike Nandaguba will come to mind here. The same way as Mishola Folon show. Ike Nandaguba for radio, for reading the news reading. And of course, Ishola Folon show for what do you call it?
It's a goal.
For radio commentating.
Commentating, yes.
So I started aping them right from there. From my school days, 67, 71, Kiriji Memorial College, somewhere in Igbajo. There's a story behind that, but we might have to leave that for another day. So my principal of blessed memories, Deacon Olagmuju, gave me the special privilege to gather the news around and read to a congregation of about 1,000 people every morning. I'd go gather the news and read to them, just the way I read the news on radio and TV.
How old were you at this time?
I was about between 16, 17, 18.
Wow, okay.
Yes, yes. Then no football match gets played without me running mock commentaries. So that's how that the interest.
Isn't it surprising that you never went through that again? Instead you went to be reading news instead of doing commentaries.
No, but I did a bit of that, if you remember. When I was growing up, under Ernest Conco.
Yes. And Sebastian
Offorum. And if you remember that Larry Zamojo was also sharing commentaries with us at the time.
True.
Yeah, so it's just that news took the better part of me then.
Now, if I look at Bisi Olatilo, in those days, you would read news, you would present program, you would produce program, you were doing everything. And I was wondering, can you just please narrow down one aspect that we will say this is what you do, and then you will speak in Hausa, you speak in Yoruba, you speak in Igbo, which you still do.
No, I must thank Radio Nigeria for the kind of training we got. That training makes you an all-rounder, master of a lot of things. I mean, if I tell you that it's like taking coal to Newcastle, you know it yourself. That's the kind of rounded training we got. Yeah. If you're lucky to pass through the portals of Radio Nigeria. Yes. I mean, you were a teacher at the language laboratory, and there was nothing that, no matter how many degrees you bring or you brought along, you have to be brushed up in the right way. Things are done. So we went through all of that. You know that here's an academy now. It's an academy.
National Broadcast Academy. Yes.
I had gone through commentating course. I had gone through, announcers course. I've gone through all the different
And
courses.
production
there.
course you were there,
Production
too.
courses.
Journalism.
So that actually places you on a very good pedestal
Yes.
to handle anything that comes
Right.
across. So that's the thing. Everywhere I go to, I say, well, I started broadcasting, your state, but I got brushed up when I got to Lagos. And that would go to FRCN.
Okay. We'll take a short break in a moment, but before that, Bisi, you moved from BCOS, came to Radio Nigeria. Now, when you came, it was like nothing changed. You just moved and fitted into the realm of things. But when I started watching you closely, was Bisi would do MC. Bisi would do MC in Yoruba, do MC in Pidgin, and then come back on radio and do programs in same. I was wondering whether there would be any time Bisi will say, okay, I'm tired, let me not do any of this again. You still do that, don't you?
But maybe the way to say it, the way things have now, what I've been doing has metamorphosed into now. I used to be a presenter.
Yeah.
But now I produce a program, which is called the Bisi Olatilo Show. And you talked about MC. The
Yes.
MC thing helped me a great lot to be able to have mass followership and even goodwill. I thought I won't waste it, let me build on it. And that's why we decided to have the Bisi Olatilo Show. So all of that, we compressed it, and that's how we got going. And the Bisi Olatilo Show, of course, as you know, was started in a very small way, but now, thank God, it has blossomed beyond
You have
our
your
own
own
expectation and all
station,
that.
you have your own channel,
Yeah.
and I just wonder if I see a program, Bisi Olatilo is there, then you now check the back of your cameraman, BISCON TV. I say, wait, from play to chop. We used to say that, by the way.
Play to chop.
So that's how you took the bull by the horn. You did not run a conventional broadcasting station. Can you tell us a bit about
No, let me say this.
Yes.
The Bisi Olatilo Show, as you know, by the way, to be 20 years this year.
Okay.
And we pride ourselves to say, with a lot of thanks to God and all our followers all over the world, that the Bisi Olatilo Show, BOS, is the longest running privately produced general interest magazine show on television in Nigeria. And known all over the world, even if you pigeonhole it to where Nigerians exist. All right? So having been able to do that for 20 years, we needed to expand the scope to encompass other areas. Because if you look at the Bisi Olatilo Show, we cramp a lot of things in one. We do sports in it, we do business in it, we do politics in it,
documentary in it,
just name
features.
it. So we thought we needed to expand our scope. Well, maybe the greatest regret that one might have now, looking back, is that why does a Bisi Olatilo Show not have a conventional television station?
I was
Haven't
wondering.
had all his life woven around radio and broadcasting. But unfortunately, what we see these days is that TV licenses have been turned into, political patronage. So you said, I'm answering, there's a little question
You
there.
hear my
So why wouldn't, so when the offer came from MultiChoice, who own Go TV,
Okay.
I jumped at it with both arms to have a 24-hour channel on it. So if you tune to, Go TV, channel 108, 24 hours a day, we do news, we do sports, we do business, we do politics.
So purely
all the
conventional
gamut,
now.
24 hours, definitely. And to the icing on the cake, about 3 months ago, when I also have an app.
Okay.
On my way here, I was watching, a station on my app.
So how do you get it on?
No, what you want to do is if you go to a Google Play Store,
Okay.
and you download BISCON TV, 24 hours you're
BISCON
watching
TV.
us, yes. I was watching one of our presenters, we call it BISCON Politics. They were talking about the ongoing issue.
Which is
with
very
the Chief
hot.
Justice. I was watching that.
Yes.
On our channel, we have e-news, we have top 10, we have business politics, we have business sports, we have, just name it. And we have news as well.
Therefore,
Yes.
current trends in broadcasting is the fact that you have social media, you have everything. So it is opened up the frontiers for you.
That's what they did.
We'll just take a short break, and when we get back, we'll look more into the man, Bisi Olatilo.
Make your event a memorable one with captivating and well-organized event center at Lagos Television's prestigious Blue Roof with a capacity of more than 3,000 seats and a fully air-conditioned 750 seats combo hall capacity. Suitable for annual general meetings, government functions, exhibitions, religious activities, wedding ceremonies, burials, musical show, and many more in a well-secure environment. Spacious car park, uninterrupted power supply, and impeccable facilities. Take advantage of all of these at affordable rates.
For inquiries, please call 0808-252-8742 or 0802-282-9898.
Lagos Television Event Center, a tasteful event center for your delight.
Soni Irabor live featuring Bisi Olatilo show. BOS, right, SIL featuring BOS. And I said before the break that we're going to meet a man, or rather go deeper into the man, Bisi Olatilo. Now tell us a little bit more about yourself, from family, that's from the family you're coming from and the family you have made.
Well, I must
Are you the first son of your family?
Actually, the last of my mother.
Oh, and the what of your father?
My father, I mean, I can't put a figure on that now because he was a polygamist. But
Same here.
He was a man that I tried to ape in every way. I look like him.
But you're not polygamous, I know that.
No. By God's grace, no. I'm just a wife. I mean, a husband of a pretty lady who turned 60 just last year.
Okay.
We celebrated 38 years actually now, in marriage.
Congratulations.
Thank God I also celebrated 65 years. But we intend to celebrate 20 years of BOS this year by God's grace.
Okay.
And I'm sure you'll be one of those who will help us put all of that together.
I go did, yeah.
Yeah, Bisi Olatilo.
Yes.
Just the way you've seen me. I don't know if you want to probe into this, the man who could speak in,
No, but let's go into
in
it.
tongues and
I
all
want
of
to,
that.
yes.
If he so decides. Well, I was born in Kano, the 20th of
that explains the outside
December
bit.
1953. But it will shock you to know that I didn't learn
How's that from there?
Igbo in the East. I learned Igbo in the North.
Really?
Yes. And that's what baffles a lot of people. Those I grew up with, the likes of Professor Pato Tommy,
Yes.
who actually went to the same secondary schools, different secondary schools actually, but in the same vicinity
Yes.
in Kano at the time. You see, each time I talk about this, I feel a little uncomfortable about it because see how things have turned now.
Oh, yeah.
In those days, I mean, ethnicity was nothing at all. We celebrated ourselves. I mean, I've come from a Christian family. And of course, you know that the houses are mostly Muslims. But
Yes.
each time we had different festivals, we celebrated it. They came from the
Together,
hinterland,
yes.
and it was so peaceful, so lovely. But when I look at it this day, I say, oh God, where have we missed this? It wasn't like this when we were growing up. So I learned Igbo in Kano, by the way. And my very first interaction with the East, incidentally, I was standing in for you for the radio program, the phoning program that you normally do.
Radio Link.
Now, you were abroad, so
Yeah,
I had to step in.
Yes.
Myself and Tony Akio too.
Yes.
And the very first person I interviewed was Okwesilius and Wood of Enugu State, many years ago now. He couldn't believe it that first I speak it with the way I speak it, and I didn't even learn it in the East. That was the first time I was making my first contact with the East. So it was very shocking. Then the next man was also Chief Chukwuemeka Ezife,
Yes.
who was also the governor of Anambra State.
Right.
I took both of them at the time, and it was such a nice thing. So anyway, that's how this bit about Bisi speaking different languages started. And I must say that has been a very good asset for me, and I must tell you that I thank God for that. Because doors just get opened each time once you can, language is such a powerful weapon.
Yes.
Once you can speak it properly. I mean, Sultan of Sokoto, by the way, speaks to me in Hausa. Obi of Onitsha speaks to me in Igbo. And almost all my friends. I mean, I feel really happy and very excited when this happens.
Having this kind of clout, you have not maximized, you have not used it to the kind of...
As you enter into politics, is that where you're going? Yorubas will do this.
Well, I love magic. Why?
But are we not doing enough, even more than the politicians? We're helping to tell the world about them, propagate them.
True.
My station is apolitical.
Yeah.
What we're doing with the politicians is help them to build their career.
And let the people know the truth about things.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
As we speak, we work with River State government, we work with Lagos State government. Just name it. We do a lot of things for them.
Now,
I'm not going to go beyond that.
All right. Now, because we've gone into that realm, let's look at politics briefly.
Okay.
Nigeria. Right now, in a few days, how many? 3rd of February today, then by 16th, we'll be
2 weeks.
about that.
Yeah.
We'll be voting a president. Then we'll also be looking at other sides of it. What do you tell Nigerians? How do you think this should be held?
No, as an opinion molder, I mean, that's what we try to do with the weapon that God has given us. The fourth state of the realm is to say that the media, let's not say the media is on trial. We have to be very careful not to put the whole nation on fire the way some of us are going, especially some privately owned media establishments. They're going overboard. And I think at this point, I mean, we should be able to talk to ourselves and to pipe low on that. And even the politicians themselves are not doing better. I mean, there's brickbats all over the place, hate speeches and the rest of it. That's not too good. The world is watching all of us. The world is a global village. You can hardly do anything here without, as you're doing it, the whole world is getting to know
Seeing
about
it live, in fact.
So I think that I'm happy that I have this platform to be able to talk to both the media practitioners, and the politicians themselves.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Nigeria is the first thing we should also be very concerned about. Our children are also there. So we've got to try to mellow down on the way we're going about. I mean, it's like it's a battle already.
It is a battle already, it appears. But what about the ordinary Nigerian? The average Nigerian needs some kind of direction. He needs somebody to tell him, this is how it's supposed to be, this is what is, and this is so on and so forth. But he gets confused when he reads this story, he hears that story, and he sees another story. And he wonders, which one do I take?
Well, the emergence of what they call the social media is not helping matters at all. Because, from
but we cannot do without them.
No, nobody's saying that. From the realm we're coming from, you and I know that we're very disciplined. We didn't just say things like that. But these guys just throw anything there, and
they enjoy how people will react to it.
The cyberspace gets it all over the world. And so a lot of these hate speeches and the rest of it go on there. And unfortunately, politicians are also employing them to do this. That's not so good.
All right, we're going to the second break. And on second break, we'll now go to the Bisi Olatilo television show. No, not just the show, but the station in totality. Because we really have to look at that. Go TV channel 108. We'll be right back. Soni Irabor Live featuring Bisi Olatilo. And it's my special guest. He's been my colleague in all of 40 years or thereabout, you know, and we've seen each other every year for 40 years. And yet sometimes we say, oh boy, how life? And truly, sometimes I don't even know how to answer that because we expect to be having the best of life, as it were. Now, Bisi, BISCON TV, how is it? And
I think I should, okay, go ahead.
let us see what were your challenges to the point that you now got to the level you got. I really need to, because that story it requires some inspiration.
First, let me say that well, Soni Irabor will say we're colleagues, but he's a senior colleague. He was my teacher at the language laboratory. If you think I speak well, then he was one of those who helped to mold me.
Thank you.
And not just me alone, the likes of, what's his name now? John Momo of Channels Television. What's his name? My younger girl. Mani Onumonu, just name it. Osaze Iyamu, and so on and so forth. He was our teacher then. I would like to thank you very much for having helped us
I've gone pink
to get to this level.
Thank you.
Now, you were talking about BISCON Television.
Yes.
Of course, you know, it's an offshoot of the Bisi Olatilo show.
Yes.
That I told you is celebrating 20 years this year, the longest running. I say that every time with a lot of thanks to God and those who have helped us to grow. And as I said, you know, when we started, peripherally, we tried to expand our scope.
Yes.
We were cramping a lot in 1 hour. And we just thought we needed to expand. And that opening came through MultiChoice, who also owned GoTV, and we jumped at it with both arms. So what we do on BISCON TV, we do news on it,
Okay.
we do business on it, we do politics on it, we do entertainment,
You do sports as well?
we do sports as well.
Okay.
And but
How did
as you know, the greatest part of what we do there is lifestyle and entertainment.
Okay. Now, what was the challenge when you began? How did it just evolve to the level it became? Must have been interesting at the beginning.
Let me say that because of the training we had, I keep referring to it because I don't see that anymore. Each time I have the opportunity of talking to those we work with, my colleagues and all of that, I say to them, I mean, what did you drink different water from what we drank in our days? Because we went to work with a lot of excitement and there's camaraderie there, we're bonding and the rest of it. Even when I'm not rostered to read the news.
We always stood by for
I'll
each
come
other.
and say, Sonny, let me have this.
Yes.
Or John,
Yes.
let me have that.
Yes.
And we'll be there for hours on end. But these days, you see them, you ask them to do a chore that they're paid for, they're all squeezed up, not feeling happy. I say, gentlemen, this is a job you must be very happy to do. You know, so initially we had such problems. But after having done the first 3 months, people started coming on their own.
Okay.
Oh yes, because they knew that it was like an offshoot of the Bisi Olatilo show, which is an improvement on the Bisi Olatilo show. I mean, the Bisi Olatilo show is only a 1 hour program every week. But this one is 24 hours non-stop every day. So what it means is that 24 hours you have to be on, whether NEPA is there or not. So one of the challenges there.
Yes.
But you know, amongst us, we have newsreaders, we have script writers. Well, of course, you know, we have the whole gamut in terms of, you know,
Studio
cameramen and the rest of it, and so on and so forth. So, and now we have new sets of presenters. All the programs that I just mentioned, you know, the E-News of this world, the Top 10 of this world, the BISCON Politics, BISCON Sports, and just name it. We have all of that now. And, you know, it'll be my mind,
your commercial?
as they say. Definitely.
Okay.
And I must say that some state governments have been helping us.
Okay.
Because without them intervening, there'll be a lot of problem. Rivers State government, I must give kudos to Barrister Chief Nyesom Wike. On his own, he said, they said, this is your own station different, your own documentary different. He wants here. That's how we started with them. You know, they did a lot of commissioning and the rest of it. What we did was for 5 months, it was like somebody said, the man don't buy on a station. I said, no. But I mean, we're doing what he has asked us to do, and he liked it. So every week on BOS, which is 1 hour, we were featuring most of the things he was doing. But on a daily basis, almost on a 30-minute interval basis, we're having, rivers all over the place. The same thing with Lagos. The same thing with Lagos, same thing with Gombe, and a bit of Sokoto, and still counting.
And it's counting. Yeah. You're moving on then. When you look at possibility of maybe expanding your frontiers, do you see yourself going international?
In fact, I'm a Clamite. I'm happy I met the workers here who said she's a Clamite. My church is called Christ Living Spring Apostolic Ministry. The short form is CLAM.
CLAM, okay. A Clamite, okay.
The last prayer point that my father in the Lord, Pastor Bisi Olatilo, gave that's last Sunday, was that may God connect you with international connection.
Amen to that. Amen to
and as if he read my mind. That is what we're waiting for now. So we're open to that because we have the content. By the way, the app I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Somebody, a Nigerian who's resident in America, in New York, by the way, precisely, called on his own and said, I don't want you to waste this. Let's have it, let's have an app for us. So we're streaming live now, seen all over the world. When we checked with him just 2 days ago, he said, on the whole, we have not less than 3 million people who watch us.
Really?
Certainly, and that it's still counting.
Okay.
Yes. All over the world. My daughter, who is in, what's it called, in Cambridge, she watches the show 24 hours on her phone.
So she doesn't miss him then?
No, she doesn't miss him.
Okay. Lifetime Achievement Award. I left this for last. You're being given this award by Silverbird Man of the Year today. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Now, Bisi, you've come a long way. So, what's your reaction to this kind of achievement and award?
The one I got from DAR Communications, the very first.
You got one too?
No,
from DAR, okay.
No, their very first award 2 years ago.
Okay.
Was given to BOS as the best program on the station.
Okay.
But this takes the whole, this is my life. This is like a story of my life. And if a television station says you qualify for this, the Lifetime Achievement Award, what could I say other than just to thank God? Coming from those who should know. I'm not a politician. I'm not a minister. I'm not a governor. And for me, for Silverbird to just choose me amongst a lot to do this to me.
Consistency.
I must thank God for that.
And
that's
aiming
why,
for quality.
Thank you. That's why I've invited all my friends, especially who are in broadcasting. I've asked John Momo to please join me. I've asked you to join me. I've asked Mani Onumono to join as many of them as we can have. That will make my day on stage that day.
So, now, ladies and gentlemen, I should say as if, yes, you're looking at me live, of course, but understand one fact. When you see your own, you embrace him, because this is how we all work. We have to exchange, we have to, touch base with one another, feel your pain, feel your joy, and let's see how things move in the realm of quality control. Bisi is one person who used to fight for quality. Now he had an opportunity to exhibit that quality through what he did by himself. I want to thank you for representing us that well.
Okay.
Yeah. Hausa, how do you say in Hausa now? Thank you very much. Nagode, right? Say again? You said Ngode.
If now you are going to say, if they tell them you are going to say, okay, tell them something now.
Okay, tell them something.
What kind of thing be that
Tell them
now?
something now.
This would have been an incomplete program if I'm not allowed to speak in tongues. Igbo ndị njem ọnụ eze ka nkene ọnụ ka ego si aga eji m aka na ife niile ọ na-adaba ọfụma. A ga-etinye m ife niile nọ n'ụwa tụmadị nke Naịjirịa na ekpere ka ọ na-aga ọfụma. Na gị na-ekpere Naịjirịa ekpere maka ọ dịrị Naịjirịa mma ọ ga-adịrị gị mma. To Hausa, ina kuke daga arewa ne ko kuma nan wurin hannun hagu kuke ne ko dama ne ko kuma can gaba kuke. Allah Ubangiji sa wannan kasan nan ba abin da zai taɓa tun Allah yadda. Addu'a kan addu'a muke. Akan addu'a muke Najeriya ana mu ne. Ba abin da zai taɓa ta. You put this around, no, you ban on when and the was the back of Indiana, now near to my Timons on the I do allow my from Nigeria. Colon Jacob Buella be as you felt. I do allow my
Can I attempt to translate that? Well, in English, if I may dare 3 languages in one English, this is just to say, let's leave Nigeria in God's hands. And of course, pray that you Nigerians, you do your best to ensure that Nigeria gets the best this election. Let the better man win, that's it. Don't try to be better than who you're not. Or try to make things, am I right or right?
You're right, I'm right.
Okay, translate properly.
You're right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So much for
Thanks a lot. God
gracing
bless
this
you.
occasion.
Thanks
And
a lot.
congratulations, by the way.
Thanks a lot.
Right?
Thank you very much.
And I will toe the line that Bisi just gave us. Go out there, vote, and remember that this is not, in fact, I was wondering why my face was moving in the wrong direction. Just remember that you have a stake in this country, so do your best to keep the country together. Just vote your own and don't try to make trouble for any other person. God bless Nigeria, and Bisi, God bless you.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
God bless you. Thanks.
Soni Irabor Live signing off. Good night now.